Henoc Muamba is our special guest in the Jay Onrait Lounge as we break down the final game from Week 5 of the Canadian Football League. The Elks finally get a victory, Henoc.
Yes, they did, Jay.
And it's not only their first win of the season, but it's Mark Killam, their head coach's first win as a CFL head coach. Interesting decisions he was making with the quarterbacks, going back and forth between Trey Ford and Cody Fajardo. As a former player, what's your take on how he handled the quarterbacks?
As a player, I absolutely hate it. I mean, defensively, you don't like it, but let alone offensively, you lose the rhythm, especially for a guy like Trey Ford. I mean, one of the main reasons that Ed Hervey in the offseason wanted to get to bring in Cody Fajardo and let go of McLeod Bethel Thompson, that was what was happening last year. It was going back and forth between McLeod and Trey Ford. But this time, you get into the game. You're 0-3 coming into this game, Jay, and you finally get a game where Trey Ford is playing like the guy that you always wanted him to be, and he seems in sync with that offense. And Jordan McSimic did a great job, actually, of changing up the offense. And this offense that we saw him play actually fit him much better. We saw some reverses. We saw some great running by Rankin, and it was just great. This is the offense. This is the system that Trey Ford needs to be in. And then you go ahead and you pull him out. It doesn't matter if you made a decision. I think you come into this game like this as a coach. You say, hey, look, this is looking really good. Trey Ford is a young guy. Let's let him have his reps. And I was disappointed. I know as a player, I'm sure Trey Ford didn't like it.
Yeah.
But, hey, coaches got to make their calls, right?
And at the end, he got the victory, which was massive.
That's what matters.
And what's interesting is Drew Brown for the Redblacks, coming back from that hip injury, looked better than ever, threw for over 300 yards. Is this the best that you've seen the Ottawa offense look this season, despite the fact they lost the game?
You know what? No. You look at Week 1. Week 1, he's threw for 413 yards. After his departure, after his injury from Week 1, they haven't won a game.
Yeah.
And a lot of that had to do because Drew Brown wasn't there. So this offense is in sync and is at its best when Drew Brown is playing. But you kind of saw there was a little bit of rust in that offense as well. So, I'm obviously looking forward to seeing how he'll look going forward. And again, he got better as the game went on. But still, this is not the Drew Brown that you want to see. You want to see him continue to improve as the season goes on.
So, Henoc, we've got a 1-4 team in the nation's capital. We have a 1-3 team in the Alberta capital. Where do these two teams go from here? What's the next step for them?
Listen, what you got to continue to figure out your team, because I think also that's what it is. The teams are trying to figure out their coaches. It's still kind of early in the season.
Sure, yeah.
We've had a lot of action in the CFL, lots happening, but teams are still trying to figure themselves out, feel each other out, and understand who they have in the building. And so now offenses, like I talked about with Edmonton, are starting to be more specific to the skill sets that their players have, and that's what you're kind of noticing more and more. And obviously it sucks. It's not the greatest when you don't have your players healthy on the field to also continue to play, right?
Let's talk about the fact the Redblacks next are in Hamilton. They'll take on the 2-2 Ticats. Elks have a chance to win their second of the season against the 2-3 BC Lions. That's also in week number 6. Henoc Muamba, you are great. Hey, you're joining us tomorrow. We're going to look back, at the first 5 weeks of the CFL season.